Welcome back to Burgundy, ladies and gentlemen. Burgundy in the 19th century, which we're still in for about 4 more years, is a nation state, and a nation state needs to have enemies that people can focus on and be afraid of, instead of focusing on internal stuff, nonsense such as social inequality, or the fact that they're being oppressed, or that the poor people are paying too much tax so the rich people won't have to pay tax, and instead can live a will-and-nil life, building factories and having fun. And those enemies have so far all been external. We're talking about the Dual Monarchy, a formidable foe that was threatening the very fabric of existence of Burgundian life. We're talking about Bohemia that was trying to recreate the HRE once again in order to threaten Burgundian existence, and Scandinavia that was once upon a time a friend and then became a foe when we have vanquished all other foes. But it turns out the real enemy, the true enemy, was within the entire time, at least the past decade or two. And we're talking about the dirty communists, the socialists, and even the social liberals that are trying to muddying up and destroying Burgundian legacy and turning Burgundy into something it was never meant to be. And we need to deal with that enemy. We need to make sure that the communists never take power. They were close before, but we will try to make sure that they don't. Let's see here. If we go to the population screen, we can see the ideology of the people. So far, the electorate is mostly liberal, thanks to having 2 parties, and I think it also messes up that some liberals, if they have 2 liberal parties, they can vote for both parties at the same time, or something like that. But if we look over here in ideology, we see that liberals is the strongest, conservative is also fairly strong, but then you have communist, closely followed by socialist, and then social liberal, all of them capable of making a coalition of the unwilling, or they will be willing, but it would be bad for us. Let's just call it an unholy coalition then, in order to destroy Burgundian society. And we cannot allow that, and we will not allow that. Not really sure how to deal with that, but one of the main ideas is simply to push through the reforms that they would like to push through in order to take the momentum away from them, and focusing it on us instead, making them lose all their weapons. And right now they want to have, what do they want? Campaign for old age security, paying more money to the old people to be old. Yeah, never been a fan of that, but it's either that or having a communist uprising. I would be able to deal with communist uprising, but at the same time, as I mentioned, our real weapon is defanging the socialists by taking over socialist ideas and merging it together with our liberal ideas. Essentially becoming social liberal, I suppose. We can't call us that. We just call ourselves liberal in the truest sense of the word. So that's what we will do right now, or over time, rather, in order to make sure that the communists don't take power once again. The next election will be at the turn of the century, 1899, so we have about 3 more years until that occurs. 3 more years to adopt more policies and making sure that the communists don't get any stronger than they are right now. Alright, that is that done with, the internal strife part. If we look at the Greater Europe area, you can see that Aragon is having a tough time. They are being attacked, or they're attacked for some reason. Is it Liguria, to try to take over some territory? Annex Liguria, that's pretty stupid. And with Liguria, I guess they mean Sardinia? I don't understand. But Aragon is getting smashed by France. At the same time, Italy is being very opportunistic, trying to liberate Campania from Aragon. But the British Commonwealth is protecting them, since Aragon is in the sphere of influence of the British Commonwealth. So I'm uncertain how that will go. I'm pretty sure that the Italians will win in the end, but we'll simply have to wait and see. Our technology is now done. What should we pick next? We are somewhat behind in commerce, and we're doing really well in commerce, but we can always do better. So let's take neoclassical theory. It will give us 10% research points, a reduction in factory cost, factory input efficiency tech, and a bunch of different prestige inventions. That will be wonderful. If we look over here, I do feel we should take Darfur away from the Darfurians. They are incapable of handling themselves. They're a feudal monarchy. Who is a feudal monarchy anyway at this point? I mean, if you're not a parliamentary monarchy, then what's the point? At this day and age, you need to be a parliamentary monarchy. In Australia, we will most definitely lose Pitjantjatjara, which is a wonderful name once again. It's just a shame that we don't have enough colonial power in order to contest that too much. So that's a shame. It will look bad on the map too. It would be better if we had that, so I don't know, so Australia would be somewhat fairly divided between us. But you can't get anything you want. We have Burgundy and Hindustan, which should be renamed into Burgundistan, since it's owned by us. And everyone here is now trying to learn Burgundian in order to migrate over to Burgundy to have a rich and wonderful life. Which I can only say, good job, go for it. Now the damn people want campaign for safe working conditions. Which, I guess, sure. We're pushing through all the reforms, making the communists hopefully lose power. That's all I can say. I'm a bit afraid of this turning into a proper crisis. It could end up that way, though I don't think anyone would want to go against us. If we look on the great power list... Oh, Braunschweig is not in our sphere of influence. The Nubian Confederation. I actually don't have a problem with them taking over Germany itself. It would look better on the map. And we can host a regional trade fair. We have, of course, Burgundy here. Indisputable top. Just look at this. We have almost 4,000 points, which is well ahead of the second place. We have more than twice the amount of points that France has, and France is the second one. The British Commonwealth is the third, Bohemia is the fourth, the Japanese Empire the fifth, Russia, Scandinavia, the Nubian Confederation on the last place, a newcomer to the world stage. East Frisia was fell and has now joined forces with excuse me, I'm stumbling over words at the moment. The Danubian Confederation, there we go. I did manage in the end. They are taking Braunschweig away from us. Braunschweig is still our ally, so they could help us out in any sort of conflict. We have no infamy. We have no work exhaustion. We have recovered from all the disastrous and endless wars of the past. Let's go to war against Darfur. We will scramble them for Africa. There we go. I'm a bit surprised that they managed to land 18,000 men, considering their entire population is 221,000. They must have a lot of soldiers. They have a lot of slaves, in fact. And also a lot of soldiers. 9%. When will they arrive here? 16th of June. Could we end up there before them? In Fasher. 1st of June. Yes, we will. We're much faster than them. And it should be a smash victory, as always. Oh, Whistle Stop Tour. I thought it would be something exciting, but Whistle Stop Tour is fine. And what do the people want now? They want a culture movement, small endowment. Let's see. Sure. The government provides a trinket sum for the arts. Absolutely. No problem there. We will be the most progressive country that has ever existed, at least within this time frame. Could we potentially be that? I mean, we have strict pollution standards. I'm pretty sure, like, some countries don't have that still. We have no unemployment subsidies though. We need to fix that as soon as the population wants to fix that. We have pretty bad healthcare, so we need to fix that too. I think the next one will be universal healthcare movement. Maybe they will go for 12-hour workdays. Either way, it will be fine. I'm not a fan of the factory throughput being lowered by this. Then again, they would be working much less. But it would be fine. Our factories are really good. We have the greatest factories in the world. And Darfur, they did manage to slip through. Hussein Dinar. That's not good. And Admiral something died. Sylvain Mark. That sounds very Burgundian to me. Not at all. And Ethiopia is duking it out with the British Commonwealth, which will most likely kill them. Sure, Darfur is now annexed. We can move on to the Funj Sultanate. The Funj have 60,000 men, and we can declare war on them because we have a missing casus belli. Why? Aren't we scrambling them? for Africa. It's a bit rude. And we have a truce with these guys, we have a truce with Kano, we have a truce with these guys and Demossi. We have a truce with everyone else. That's boring. I want to annex things. How can I do this the most efficient way? This one is, let's see, the Dark Continent will unlock in 1900s. We should probably deal with this Pichiantiara problem before then. Since there's no way that we will win this, I am almost advocating on removing ourselves from that as soon as possible. We have expanded our naval bases here. It did not help at all. And I don't think we can... what I'm surprised about is that they have that much colonial power to begin with. We have... I mean, we have this big empire. I guess a lot of it is tied up into maintenance. Yeah, that's true. Fine, we will withdraw. It looks horrible, but we can always declare war on them. So do not despair, we can declare war on them, and it will be great. War is wonderful, I promise you. Have no fear. War is great. It's also great for business. And business is good because it employs people. And employed people pay taxes, so that's also good. All great stuff. It's a bit sad about the whole Funch Sultanate thing. We can decrease relations with them. Maybe we can justify war, but that's... Oh, they are a civilized nation. Wait, when did it become that? That's just mean. That means that would be like declaring war on France. Maybe we should declare war on France. Who do they ally? They allied with a bit too many. But we have the Nubian Confederation. Yeah, they might have their stupid allies, but we have the Danubian Confederation itself being on our side. The communists have 26% now. That is a bit too much. I'm not a fan of that. A bit too many people. Maybe if we appease them too much, the communists will be emboldened. But embolden this 12-hour workday. Booyah. Take that, communists. And now the conservatives. I like that the upper house always get more conservatives in order to stop successive reforms from taking place. It's such a wonky solution to the problem. Why not just have a timer of sorts that would be like, you can only make one reform every 1 year or 2 years. Seems a bit arbitrary. That suddenly some of the delegates on the upper house is replaced with conservatives. I would like to have that to happen in real life, though. It would be great to watch. Just removing 10% of each party's delegates and replacing them with someone else because they voted a certain way on certain legislation. Oh my. Baroda, you're allied with the Scandinavians still. Ah, it's the Japanese that are doing it to you. We could be doing things to you too. But I don't know if we want to. You're not worth it. You're a civilized nation though, so that makes it a pain to declare war on you. A lot of people becoming civilized these days. I don't really have a problem with civilization itself. Kind of want to deal with adding these guys back to our sphere. Bengal, and they want an alliance offer. So Bengal, that is fine. How is it going in our little sphere of influence? With Bengal added back, it looks much better now. Baroda would be nice just for the sake of borders, but the Japanese Empire is fairly strong when it comes to the Asian territories. Could we dismantle if we took that cut down to size? That would be pretty fun. Place in the sun we could also do cut down to size is pretty great. When do we get the whole dismantle? I would think we would already get that. I don't know. We could dismantle the Japanese Empire, or what is it called again? Cut down to size. It's the same thing, almost. It will take 69 days to get that justification. That's not a lot. at all. Yeah, I'm slightly in favor of that. It's 13 infamy, but we might not get as much as that. Though, at the same time, I just realized our fleet is not the greatest in the world. It's over here now. It has a lot of ships in it. Ironclads, monitors, all that kind of stuff. Maybe we should get some submarines, maybe. Yeah, let's see. Attack 22. Hold 20. 29. Oh no, there's war. Alright, who is attacking who? Show wars. It is the Nubian restoration of order to the Baden provinces. It's Baden and Lippe-Detmold. Annex Baden. You know, Baden, I do like you. I really do. But at the same time, the Nubian Confederation is much bigger than you. So, you know what? I will join in on their side instead. Sorry. That's just how it goes. If you're the biggest shark, we will help you. And we have... just look how many points we've gotten since we started this. We're at 4,300 now. Most likely due to our industry being just a wonderful piece of machinery that just continues to do work. Endlessly. If I were any of my German allies, I would probably look for a different set of allies now. I'd proven to be quite useless when it comes to defending their honor, and instead will go for the guy who's trying to eat them. But it also makes it easier for me, since I don't have to deal with that many small little nations requiring my aid all the time. Because we don't need them anymore. We don't need them anymore. We need a unified Germany that we can be brothers with. Together, Burgundy and Germany will dominate the world. Just think of it. Think about the possibilities. And you'll realize that's the best possible move. We have a lot of people that we can recruit to our wonderful armies. Is there anyone in Europe that we can recruit? Asia, there's a lot in Europe. There's some. We can build another army in Europe. It will be glorious. Trust me. What was it? I'm trying to remember now. It's 5, 4... Wait, this is in a different area, isn't it? Yeah, we need to be in Europe. There, Europe. Hello, Mr. Europe. And light cavalry. Why? Yeah, there we go. Right, one more army. You know what we can do? We can also make 2 armies. We can make 2 armies at the same time. It's a bit crazy, it's a bit out there, but we can do it. So how many was that? 5. And then, why does it always go back up top again? It's a bit annoying. I think it's due to this one being able to add people that are not your primary. So there's a lot more. Get 2 more armies in Europe that will help out in any war that involves France, any war that involves the Nubian Confederation, should they turn on us. There's no reason for them to do that, but what if? Always gotta be prepared, or always gotta make sure that you're prepared. Could be a thing that ends up happening. Meanwhile, we can make some more monitors in Europe. 6 more there, and in Asia, 13 more. In fact, even more than that. Just so many ships, just build them all. Lippe-Detmold dismantle construction in Lippisch, Westfalen. We negotiate on... okay, sure. And they're still in our sphere of influence, and they still like us. Universal healthcare, Annex Baden, sure. Universal healthcare, sure. Let's go for that. Low healthcare. That is great. We're currently paying 19,000 in pensions, and that is with full pensions on. Full pensions. Tanskap wants an alliance. Haven't looked at Tanskap in ages. Oh god. This is a thing. We also need to dismantle Scandinavian Africa because this looks like crap. If I may be so blunt. Too much Scandinavia. It's not healthy for the world. Just ask Vinland. What? I don't know. It almost looks like nothing has happened. But Belgian Confederacy is just... I don't know. I'm not a fan. I do not approve. How's it going for our little friend Pantagenia? They're still in our sphere of influence. They're 16th in the world, despite our help. Or maybe thanks to our help. We still have our 60,000 men ready to act in any sort of aggression. And we have Taiwan Tinsuyo, which I'm pretty sure has expanded a bit. It's pretty great. Pretty great. And also, does this mean that they have claims on everything that is in Germany now? Well, I guess the German Empire is worthwhile. No, the New Confederation had claims in like cores and stuff, in Baden specifically. And they also have that on Switzerland, so poor Switzerland might be affected by this. Do we have any claims that they claim? No, this is Geneva and Burgundy. Burgundy. Nothing Danubian Confederation. Great. Egypt wants an alliance. That is fine. We are allied with the Sublime Port. We are allied with all of the Near East here, which is a good thing. If only we could get to Armenia and we could help Armenia take on the Safavid Empire. Ah, God, why do they always do this to me? Alright, they are declaring war on Aragon, which means that they are now at war with Britain. Britain is our ally. I do not want to fight Britain. I could fight Britain because I'm awesome, and well, Burgundy is awesome. I can take credit for that. Huh. You know what, Egypt, I don't like your methods. I always hated people who do that. Ally and then immediately call to war. You always have an ulterior motive. I thought that you liked us for who we are, not for what we have in our hands, meaning our guns. And we have a lot of hands, because we have a lot of men, and each person has 2 hands, meaning... You know what, we have a lot of men, we have a lot of power, that's all they want. That's all. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. Maybe we should hire some people in Hindustan. Do we still have our... We do. Where's the people we can hire in Hindustan? Here we do. Current brigades 26. It's quite a bit. Here we can hire an entire army. It's beautiful. Infantry 5. Sure, that should be 5, I think. Mobile artillery 4, and this little light cavalry. Wonderful. Go for that, Lucknow. Was it you can hire more people here too? Oh, that's great. Alright. And 4 and a little light cavalry. Wonderful. Wonderful things. So 2 more armies in India in case any conflict happens in Asia at all. We can transfer them around, we can move stuff. We can use them, we can utilize them. And then we should also... Oh, poor Aragon. Aragonese reactionaries. And Italy is definitely going to take Campania from them. Say also maybe Sicily breaks free in their own nation. Aragon basically... What the hell is this? Arborea? Well, some people have already broken through. Or broken off. Arborea. I never heard of that before. Never in my life have I heard of Arborea. Is that a thing that could potentially have existed? Maybe. Maybe it's my best guess. But what happens to Aragon will have to wait until the next episode, which I obviously hope that you will all, show up to watch maybe. Who knows? Either way, thank you for watching this episode, and we will be right back in, I guess, a few days with the next episode, where we will do things. Exciting things. Wonderful things. Maybe a war with the Japanese Empire that I've long promised. Dismantle them, or at least, in this case, cut them down to size. So stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and see you next time.